welcome back to my channel. I'm Kyla and today we're doing an MLM Fails reaction video. Before we get into that, I'm just gonna pop my Instagram up on the screen like I always do, so if you want to follow me over there you can do that. It'll also be linked down below and we can just get right into the reactions. Okay, so the first video, I'll play it on the screen here of course. I'm hoping the audio will be fine. It is like a reel, so it's kind of like a TikTok sound or something like that. There's talking but there's a bit of music in the background. I'm gonna play it with the sound on because I think it should be okay, but if you're watching it and it's silent, just know I probably had to cut it out. But anyways, I will play that here now.
I don't know how much value I have in this universe, but I do know that I made a few people happier than they would have been without me. And as long as I know that, I'm as rich as I ever need to be.
Okay, so that's a small clip. I love the audio, like the sound itself is really nice, but obviously it's taken way out of context. The main thing with this one though, for me, was the caption, which is quite manipulative. It's very long, so I'm gonna read that. I'll put it up on the screen here for those of you who like to pause and kind of read it at your own pace, but I'll also read it out loud. So it says, when I said yes to starting my business, I had a big goal in mind. I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to change the norm. The norm wasn't allowing me to dream bigger, so I went another route. If it meant starting with me believing in myself, I was gonna do it. I changed my life. My first thought was, who do I know needs this? You would have looked at me, a nursing graduate, and said, oh, she doesn't need this, she has a career. But my motive to help others went much further than I could have ever dreamt of. God had other plans. I wanted to help the college student who wanted to make an income from her phone and focus on what's important. I wanted to help the mom quit her job and be a full-time present mom while making a full-time income. I wanted to help the immigrant who just arrived to this country with 2 kids and no idea what to do next. I wanted to help the military spouses make an income while feeling fulfilled. I wanted to help the stay-at-home mom bring her husband home. I wanted everyone who always gives more to write their own paychecks and shine bright. I wanted to help everyone who knew they were meant for more than their current situation and I had an opportunity for them in my hands. In this business, I've met my best friends. I've met men and women who force each other to level up, who push each other, encourage each other, and clap for each other when they win. My goal this year is to share more of why we said yes to this business and what it's done for us. One by one, so many people need this and don't even know it yet. Feel free to share in the comments what saying yes to this has done for you. I would love to read. So yeah. Obviously, I'm sure you guys know where this is going and what I'm gonna say about that, but it just seems very manipulative and very targeted towards people who are struggling or who might be in a situation that they don't see a way out of. So obviously she was trying to appeal to a whole bunch of people, like she mentioned college students, moms who want to be home with their kids, immigrants who maybe they can't get a job or they don't have a job yet, military spouses. So just all of the people that we typically see MLMs prey on. She literally said, let me wrap that all up into one post and let me just reach all of them with this one. So that's interesting. And I also find it interesting when she's talking about how she wants to help people and like, she is kind of gassing herself up a little bit, I find, which I mean, that's all right. People do deserve to be proud if they're happy with what they're doing. But I also find it kind of funny how she is like really pumping her tires saying like, I'm so great, I help so many people. But she also says that she was a nursing graduate and how people would say, oh, you don't need this, like you have a career kind of thing. And well, people are definitely free to change career. Like I don't think anyone should stay in a career just because other people think they have it good. But you would think if her main goal was to help people, like nursing seems like a pretty great choice for that. Not a whole lot to say about that, but I just found that one really interesting and wanted to include it just because of how in her caption she literally like outlined basically in like point form like all the groups of people that MLMs always target. So it's just kind of funny to me that she put that all into one post. But anyways, we will move on. Okay, so the next clip is just a quick reel. The reason I wanted to include this one, first of all, that's a gorgeous shower, completely unrelated, but like that's so pretty. But the main thing is notice how much product she has. Now, I know this consultant is pretty high up there and I think she's been doing the business for a while, but that's just insane to me when they try to say that like the consultants are not the consumers. What is this then? Like, That's a ridiculous amount of product. But the other thing is, so I'm going to read the caption here. It says, meet our damage repair line, the first of its kind, actually reversing chemical and heat damage. With clinical studies proving you will notice a difference in one wash. It's true. I thought they weren't allowed to say stuff like that anymore, but anyways, here's the lineup. Damage repair bond support shampoo, damage repair bond building serum, damage repair bond support mask, damage repair bonding leave-in cream. Ask me how to get this line in your hands for an insane deal. Trust me, you need it. And we have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have literally nothing to lose. So a couple things with that. One, it's interesting because they're saying it's the first to repair damage, but literally prior to this, every video I've seen of Monat is them comparing their old damaged hair to their hair now, the after, trying to make it look really good. Obviously their hair grows because like when years pass and you don't cut your hair, it grows. But they're always trying to make it look like Monat totally fixed and changed their hair. So it's interesting to me that they're saying like this is the first one that will repair damage, just because they've been selling all the other products as ones that will fix your hair and repair damage. So first of all, that's a little bit contradictory to me. But the other thing too that I just kind of thought of when I was watching this, the first thing actually that came to my mind and made me save this video was that when people claim that Monat makes their hair fall out, which we have seen that happen, and there are plenty of lawsuits that you can look up about that happening. But when people say that that happened, when they say they had hair loss, when they say they got scalp sores, everything like that, the first thing that the consultants say is, well, you weren't using the right product for your hair. You have to use a different line, or they'll try to say you're using other products with Monat, which like personally, I don't think that any hair product, even if it's used with other brands' products, should make your hair fall out. Like that's no excuse and that's crazy. But they'll also say, well, whoever set you up with it probably didn't set you up with the right line, or you're using the wrong product. But then every single line that comes out, they buy. So it's like, if you need a specific line for your hair or your hair type, why are they buying and pitching every single line that drops? This business would not survive without consultants, because no one but the consultants really want to buy this. Sure, there are some like VIP customers or whatever, people who don't know any different, don't probably know about MLMs, and they just see like their friend or whatever, an influencer they follow, posting about it, and they'll buy it and get the discount or whatever. But in general, the consultants are the consumers and they buy every single line. So whenever they're saying that like hair fallout happens because you're buying the wrong product or you got set up with the wrong line, I just want to know how then they're able to use every single line with no issue, just because that's kind of contradictory, obviously. And that being said, someone who suffers from hair loss from a product like Monat definitely shouldn't try another product from the same line, because a lot of their ingredient lists, there's quite a lot of overlap. There's a lot of essential oils which can be irritating for the scalp, things like that. But yeah, I just found that really interesting. And the comments are kind of interesting too. So someone says, info please, my hair is still so damaged. I've been using Monat for 10 months. Would love to try this. I'm sorry, but if you've been using a product for 10 months, like it's just not working for you. And then she just replies like, yes, let's hook you up. It's like, hello. She's been using your product for 10 months already. Someone else said, I know you did it for the video, but showing using all that shampoo is like bad advertising. And it's so true too, because they try to justify the price of their shampoo by saying you barely need any, and then she uses like a massive handful. Anyways, short video, so not a whole lot to say about that, but let me know what you thought of that down below, just because I know where they're always saying like you're using the wrong line to excuse hair loss. It's something that I just kind of thought of today, which was weird that they're always using all of the lines that come out. So yeah, anyways, let me know what you think about that. Okay, so the next video, again, just a reel. I'm sorry that a lot of these videos are kind of short. I should have a couple longer ones in here as well. But yeah, this one is from Boss Lee, our fave. So I'll play that here now.
You don't find that suspicious? 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 You don't find that suspicious?
Okay, so what she's comparing here is essentially affiliate marketing for one. Like she's saying people who ask for a coupon or discount code to share from their favorite brands. She says people who share their favorite Peloton workout without getting paid, or who clearly haven't Googled how many lawsuits Walmart and nearly every other major retailer has for legitimately unfair paid wages. And then in the caption, she says, you're all network marketers, just some of you don't get paid for it. Do better in 2022. Sell what you love and you'll never feel like you're working. LOL, I just lied. It definitely feels like work, but you'll love it. Share this if you're a paid network marketer or just love internet marketing. So, okay, the one thing I will say that I appreciate is when she said, I just lied, it definitely feels like work. Good. Thank you for not saying you don't work at all and blah, 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 because that's kind of ridiculous. But to say you're all network marketers, you just don't get paid for it, that's literally not true. Couple reasons why. One, in response to the first bit of, oh, you're sharing your favorite Peloton workout and you're not getting paid. Some people don't need to be paid just to have an opinion. Like, you can share things and get paid for it, but you can also share things just because you like to share. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's no different than people posting a picture of their lunch on Instagram. That doesn't mean they need to get paid for doing that. Sometimes people just like to share things that they like, or they want to post it because their friends and family would also like it, and they're not trying to gain money from that. But the other thing is that you can make money for sharing things without being an MLM. I've talked about this before, and I know a couple of anti-MLM commentary channels have done videos comparing affiliate marketing to network marketing. But affiliate marketing essentially is where you post a link, typically through an affiliate program, either with a brand specifically, or there are things like to Know It, where you can share tons of different brands and they kind of create a link for you, and there's commission paid out at no extra cost to the customer. But basically what that is you get a link for a product, you can share it, and then if someone clicks on it and buys it, you get a little commission back, and you don't have to recruit anyone to that. There's no recruitment necessary. And your paycheck doesn't rely on recruiting at all. Obviously, it's not a ton of money whatsoever, but you still can get paid to share things without needing to scam other people into joining under you to make your paycheck. So again, that's something that I feel like a lot of network marketers never touch on. They always compare, oh, you share what you like and you don't get paid. They're comparing apples to oranges. Like, I can make a post and not get paid for it, but I can also make a post and get paid for it. Like, they act like that's not a real thing, and I'm sure they know, because a lot of them do have a lot of followers, and they probably also do affiliate marketing on top of network marketing. So I find it kind of like purposeful ignorance to just kind of like not touch on that at all when they all are fully aware of that option. And then her saying that you haven't Googled how many lawsuits Walmart and every major retailer has for unfair paid wages. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't Googled that, but here's the thing. People do have to shop somewhere. So if you're going to tell me there's lawsuits at Walmart and there's also lawsuits against Monat, I'm still going to pick Walmart. The other thing is that retailers like Walmart, Target, that kind of stuff, they sell other brands. You have the luxury of choice. If there's a brand that you don't like or don't want to support, pick a different one. You're not stuck. Whereas with network marketing, they expect you to only use that brand, only talk about that brand. You're only getting paid to sell that brand. So even if she wants to go on and say her favorite Peloton workout, she's not getting paid for that either. So yeah, I feel like there's just a lot more nuance surrounding the subject than what any network marketers talk about, just because it wouldn't really suit their narrative if they gave a full picture. And then here's another, this one's just a post from a top Monat rep, but this one is also kind of about influencer marketing versus network marketing. But I'm just going to read the caption here. I'll obviously have it up on the screen as always, but it says, when you compare traditional influencer marketing with how I choose to share beauty products, my favorite part of what I do is the customer experience. Providing links to things I love is great, but when it comes to beauty products that you don't buy and don't particularly love, the influencer isn't responsible for your customer service or product concerns. If you don't like it or it doesn't work for your hair or skin type, you don't have the option of expecting that influencer to troubleshoot for you. You made your purchase, they made their commission, and that's that. Not necessarily harmful, but it does take the personal touch out of it. Instead of me simply sharing a product that I love and sending you a link for me to earn a commission of a quick shop click, I get to share an entire product line I love and provide you with continuous customer service forever. Product troubleshooting, sale assistance, customer service assistance, help you with orders and or your account, one-on-one consults for your perfect routine, because our hair and skin is all different and we each require a different secret sauce. I don't ever want to just drop and run a bunch of links to beauty products, and the same goes with my photography business too. My goal is to always provide you with an experience and relationship you appreciate. At least with this one, she recognized that influencer marketing is a thing, unlike Boss Lee in the last clip, who basically just pretended that that's not even an option. But to what she's saying with an influencer not being responsible if you don't like a product that you buy after they share a link, that's true. Obviously, like, you can't expect an influencer with millions of followers to reply to every single person who either loved or didn't like a product they recommended, because ultimately they're just saying, hey, this is what I use, you know, if you like it, you can pick it up. But the other thing is that most companies have customer service, they have return options. Like, there are still options. You're not stuck with something you don't love. And even with MLMs, like, you're relying solely on the person. So while she says that she likes to do this whole one-on-one experience, that doesn't mean that every network marketer is going to be the same. And that's the other thing, is like, with customer service at regular businesses, there's typically one, training, which Monat doesn't have, but also there's guidelines for what they can and can't do. Whereas with Monat, you could have one person want to give you this whole one-on-one experience. You could have another person who does just drop a link and go. There's no consistency because the consultants can kind of do whatever they want. Okay, so this is the final clip. It is a long one. It is a recruitment training by Boss Lee. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. I cut out some of the beginning. She's just introducing herself and everything. But yeah, we'll go ahead and give that a listen.
Literally, like, no filter, just give it to him.
Okay. So I don't know. Like, Sarah looked a little scared. She started nodding like, yeah, I think she can. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be that strong. I mean, I just want to warn you, it might be. So that was just like a heads up. That was just in case I start going off on some kind of aggressive tangent. I don't usually ask for permission. Erica's got a point, but I'm just telling you, I'm in rare form because of this 90-day run. So is anyone doing a 90-day run? That's also a great question. That's a great question. Okay, so a bunch of you you're doing it. Bring it on. Give it to us. Okay, so I'm in a 90-day run, which just basically means I am all out action. I have crazy goals, including recruiting goals, which we're going to talk about today. And because of that, my intensity is different. And so I want to share some of that with you. I want to share maybe a little bit around some of the stuff I'm doing inside of this 90-day run because people keep asking me. And it sounds like some of you are doing that in February, Rachel says. Mallory's in the middle of it now. RSLE's doing it now. That's awesome. And then from there, I also just want to get straight into recruiting in general because this is one of the things that I'm super passionate about. It sounds like a lot of you follow me already, but recruiting's my jam. And recruiting's my jam. I guess I can start there. Not because I'm obsessed with recruiting people, but because I'm obsessed with helping people. And I really mean that. And you can't tell me anything about myself when it comes to that or anything negative about recruiting because if nobody had recruited me, I wouldn't have had the change in my life that I've had. Oh my gosh, hold on, wait a minute. Today's my 11-year anniversary in network marketing, direct sales, whatever. So like, hold on, I completely forgot. I jumped right over that. But it's crazy because I didn't even actually get recruited by anyone. Nobody messaged me, which is a tragic error on behalf of the entire world. However, I did get recruited in the sense of I did do a Google search and I did find a network marketing opportunity, direct sales opportunity, and it did change my entire life. 11 years ago today, I put $310 on a credit card because I had no money. For those of you who don't already know my story, I was living in a basement, not an exaggeration. I rented a room in a basement in a house, and the rest is kind of history. 11 years later, you know, kind of network marketing, walking, living legend, if you will. Love doing this, but to bring it back full circle really fast to the recruiting point, when I said I'm just addicted to the changing of people's lives, that makes me push every single day. I never wanted to recruit. And some of you have heard this part of my training before, so I don't want to repeat myself to you because I know a lot of you follow me very closely. I was the person who said, that's a full-time job. I have no interest in doing it. And until somebody told me, well, you're being really selfish by not sharing this with anybody, and that got me because I'm actually a bleeding heart. I'm in like a super, driven business, let's go state right now. So I don't mean to scare any of you, but some of the times I'll come on here and I'll straight up cry with y'all. Like I'm a yellow, mushy, like, can we all just make some money? Let's make $500 a month. Like I just want to change your life. I just want to hug your babies. I just want to hang out with you. Ooh, like I'm a quality time love language. Like let's just hang out and tell me about yourself. Like that's probably why I'll do live video all the time. But when you start seeing people's lives change, it becomes ridiculously addicting. You can't help yourself but share. So I've personally recruited over 9,000 people. For anybody who's curious why you should listen to me about recruiting, and I have no intentions of slowing down whatsoever. I am constantly recruiting. I'm always looking for new business partners. I am always out there looking to find somebody who wants to change their life. I'm always looking for the hungry. I'm always looking for the people who are, I'm gonna say it because I told you. I asked permission. You said I could speak strongly. I am looking for the greedy, not the needy. Okay, and so that comes with making sure you are flipping your cards. 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 And when you speak about what you are trying to attract, write that down. You will attract what you want. I wanted and now have a team of aggressive people. I wanted aggressive, not aggressive like, like aggressive about business, aggressive about changing their lives, aggressive about doing more, aggressive about putting more gifts under the Christmas tree, aggressive about paying off debt, aggressive about the way they show up to stuff. I didn't want an organization, and I used to have one, an organization that I had to tell them about calls. And some of you know what I'm talking about, right? I hated it. I would have to text every person. Don't forget now, Michaela, we got that call with Jessie Lee coming up in an hour. I want to die when those, I can't. And not Michaela, because Michaela's sitting here like, girl, I was one of the first ones on. I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th in the row. I was on here early. I secured my spot, okay? That's why I can pick on the front page, because I know y'all were here early. You didn't even show up on time. You came here early, which means you were on time. If you're on time, you're late. I'm just kidding. All right, but anyway, I was late, a little late. I was doing my pharmacy makeup, and it just took too long, right? But it wasn't your fault. It was my fault. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I say all that to you to say, you can tell who wants a business opportunity by how they do everything, right? I had this conversation very, 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 very directly with our team last night, 2 nights ago. I don't know. I'm in the 90-day run time warp right now. And I said, man, you know what? Like, a couple things. First of all, I can tell exactly how you're going to be in business if I look at your social media and I see how consistently you post. Oh, I like the faces some of you just made. Like, you forgot to tell your face, I can see you. I love it. I love it. I love Zoom. Like, I saw the, right? Because that's how you do everything. And I kind of slapped people around a little bit last night in a really nice way, okay? Like, I don't actually slap anybody around. I'm still like a little sweetheart, right? But I'm like, guys, if you can't consistently do social media, you've also told me how you're going to be in your business. You've also told me how you are.
Okay, just gonna quickly pause there, just because, does anyone else ever get kind of weird vibes if someone says they're super nice all the time? Like, oh, I'm a sweetheart, I'm so emotional, I'm so this, that. Like, I don't know, I find it kind of weird when you have to say that you're super nice. And I'm not gonna say Boss Lee is not, like, in person. I've never met her, obviously, and I'm probably never going to. I'm probably never even gonna speak to her. So I'm not gonna say she's not, because I don't know. But I just always find it kind of weird when people are like, oh, I just slapped them around. Like, obviously that's a joke. And then she's like, well, not really. I'm super nice. And even earlier in the call, she was saying, like, I probably seem really intense right now, but, like, I'm really nice and I get here and cry with you guys. Like, I'm such a softie. Like, I don't know, I just get kind of weird vibes when people have to say that. I'm like, are you really nice? Like, if you were, you probably wouldn't have to say that. But anyways, we'll keep watching because that's literally not important. I was just kind of thought of that.
Are in your actual full-time job. You've also told me what you're probably like, definitely like, in your relationships. Like, here's the fact of the matter. Okay, Caitlin's head's gonna pop off over there. But, like, I wouldn't be friends with you if you don't have to be like somebody who does all the posts on the wall. Maybe it's consistent in your stories. Like, I don't care. Figure out what you like. Maybe it's TikTok, maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's YouTube, maybe it's your stories, maybe it's Clubhouse, whatever. Pick something and be consistent. And I would know if I would want to be straight up friends with you. Because if you can't be consistent in an Instagram story, if that's where you like to post stuff and you're talking about your business in there and you're posting about, then I'm worried if my car breaks down on the side of the road and you're my best friend. You know what I mean? Like, do you see the correlation between how you do anything is how you do everything? Okay.
No, simply not true. So sorry again to pause, but that is just so inaccurate. Like, I do get what she's saying. Obviously, consistency is important with anything, like with a business or like any goal you have, really. You have to consistently work towards it. That's the only way for it to happen. But at the same time, to judge someone based on how frequently they post on social media and say that, oh, well, they're flaky and I can't rely on them and I don't want to be their friend if they don't post consistently on social media, that is ridiculous. That's like a Black Mirror episode. I don't know, like, social media is cool, it's fun, but it should not mean that much to anybody. And I also find it interesting, I can't speak to Boss Lee specifically because I haven't seen enough of her content, which, like, sounds kind of scary to say. I've seen enough, but, like, I haven't seen enough to know. But a lot of MLMers in general will say, you don't even have to have social media. You don't even have to really post. Like, it's all good. You can run this business however you want. But then they'll turn around and say stuff like this, which is just kind of interesting. But anyways, we'll keep going.
So you look at somebody, and then I said this, and this is just so true. It's so true. Woo, Child, I love y'all, but listen, you've got to get better. If you want to recruit people, you have got to become a better version of you, whatever that looks like. We're all at different levels. You're looking at me 11 years. 11 years I got in the pipe over here, okay? 11 years. 11 years ago when I started, I was recruiting all the duds. There were really no studs. Okay, I was like, they said every dud leads to a stud. I'm like, damn, how many duds I gotta get up? Oh, this is crazy. Until I realized the problem was me. It was me. Because we all want the outcome. We all want the stage time. We all want to train in front of people. Maybe not everyone, but you get what I'm trying to say. We all want to make the money. We all want the cars. We want the trips. We want the whatever. We want to go to Jamaica. We want to go to the Maldives. We want to travel the world. We want to see the places. We want to have the crazy birthdays. We want to do all this stuff. We all want to do these things. I know that. We want the outcomes and we're not willing to learn the skills. If you want to recruit more people, do you have recruiting skills? Do you know how to speak to people? Do you know how to find out what motivates people? Do you know how to find out what moves people? Do you know how to find out exactly what the person actually needs, or are you just talking at people? Because when I first started, I was talking about people. I was making income claims. I was talking about all things I was going to do. I was talking about my vision. I was talking about all this stuff. Recruiting is a skill set. The military sends you to learn how to recruit. It's a skill set. And then they throw you out in there and you got to fail, 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 you got to fail. You're terrible, right? You got to knock on people's doors trying to get people, would you like to be a Marine, okay? Like, you got to do all these things. You got to learn the speeches. You got to learn the slogans. You got to learn, oh my God, you got to know all the stuff about all the stuff. And until you know the skills, it feels like hard labor. Right? You feel like you're tripping over your words. I mean, yeah, so the company, hold on. I know what I'm supposed to say. Hold on. I just learned this. 1 second. Okay, so we're based in Turkey and, we've been around for, how many of you, that's where you still are, and you're trying to convince people, right? Like, you haven't rehearsed yet. You haven't put in the skill set training yet. You haven't learned about no chemicals, European standards yet. You haven't learned enough to bring people in business with you because it's a certain amount of posture that recruits people. There's a certain way you carry yourself that people go, oh my God, she knows what she's talking about. Whoa, okay, if I join her, like, that girl knows what's up. Now, some of you are going, wait a minute, hold on. Now I'm like, so now I don't think that I'm going to be good enough because now you're saying I don't know enough, so maybe I shouldn't even try yet. You better wipe that crap out of your brain. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying the only way you're going to actually learn how to do this is by doing it. And a lot of you fight and battle yourselves every day. Well, why would they join me? They're going to join Kate. She's better than me. She's a corporate leg. She's this, she's that. Would you shut up about Kate? Like, we can all be obsessed with Kate. I'm obsessed with Kate, okay? But like, Kate's already figured it out. It's your turn to figure it out. It doesn't matter what she's doing. What's your path? And people all the time would say to me, oh, Jessie Lee, like, you know, now they say, oh, well, of course people join you. No. I joined this. Did you miss what I said when I joined 11 years ago today? It's my anniversary. Woo! Right, I'm just going to keep saying that. I'm excited it's my anniversary. But like, guys, I lived in a basement. I drove a Ford Focus that was like already 15 years old then. Lord have mercy. It was a stick shift, right? Okay. It's because it was cheaper, right? Stick shifts are cheaper because most people cannot drive them in America, right? I lived in the Appalachian Mountains in Maryland, and so I would throw that sucker in neutral and coast down hills to save on gas money when I started this. So when people go, no, hold on a second. Like, they're going to join Kate, they're going to join the leaders, they're going to join all these people who know more about makeup or more about business or more about the company or no. Write this word down. Vision. Whoever has the biggest vision of where they're going in this business is going to win. I guarantee it. I swear on everything. People from year one could not out-recruit me, not because I had a house, because I didn't. Not because I had a nice car, because I certainly didn't. Not because I had all the fancy whatever, the nails and the hair and the makeup and the whatever. Y'all, man, I couldn't even afford good skincare. Go look at my photos from even 5 years ago, ma'am. I look way younger now. All right, it was a calamity. I could not. I was probably washing my face with bars of soap. All right, like, there was a long way I needed to go. I could not It was bad. It was a tragedy. But what I did have was vision. I knew where I wanted to go, and I kept talking about that's where I'm taking people. Do people know where you're taking them? Do people know where they're going on this business train? Do people know the vision of this business when they partner with you? Because I made that wildly clear when I started in business. I mean, crystal clear, not...
Okay, I'm gonna pause right there really quickly to touch on some of what she said. I do have like a couple of things I wrote down just to make sure I remember what she said. She was saying that she was making income claims and just talking about her vision, which also kind of contradicts because later she was saying whoever has the biggest vision is gonna win the most, and that you have to keep talking about your vision and where you're gonna take people. So I find it kind of weird that she was saying that she was not successful when she was just talking about her vision, but then literally like 10 minutes later, not even 10 minutes later, she's saying you have to talk about your vision and where you're going to take people. That's the only way to be successful, and that's how you're going to win at this. That's my thoughts. We'll keep watching.
Kind of clear, crystal clear. Guess where I'm going? This is what I'm doing. I'm going to be able to afford a new car in a year. I'm going to be moving out of that basement pretty soon here now. We are going to go to the top. And then I would make like really bad income claims. I'd be like, I'm going to be rich. We're going to be rich together. We're going to be rich. This is before, you had to be FTC compliant. But I was really making phone calls saying, girl, I still remember my first recruit's name. Her name is Kisa. I said, Kisa, girl, we are going to be rich. And she said, what are you doing? I said, don't even worry about it. Like, we are going into people's houses and we are selling products. All we have to do is learn how to sell. She goes, girl, you don't know how to sell. I said, I don't know how to sell and you don't know how to sell, but we're going to learn together and we're going to get rich. And she went, what the hell? I said, I don't know. You got a credit card? She said, yeah. I said, cool. I just got one too. Let's go. Like, that is the worst recruiting pitch ever. But you know why it worked? It worked because I painted a picture with the vision of where we were going to go. I told her we're going to the top. I made it very clear I had no intentions of ever stopping. And here we are, 11 years later, certainly looks to me like Jessie Lee never stopped. Because my vision pulled me and pulled me and pulled me and pulled me. And here's the thing, some of you stopped recruiting, not because you don't know how to recruit, but because you have not recalibrated your vision. And you have to. You have to get a new idea of where you're going to go next. There's always a next step. And a lot of you probably come from similar backgrounds to me where money was a scarce resource, right? Money was a scarce resource. There was not a lot going on. You were constantly struggling if you grew up anything like me. And so you make the money and then you go, oh God. Is that any of you? Like, oh my God. Has anyone been there? And so those of you who went, oh, that's me. I don't even know you, and I know you're stuck at a rank. See, because that's how this works. You joined this and you never thought you were going to make money. And then whoopsies, you proved everybody wrong. You proved all the cousins who told you it's a scam wrong. You proved your mom wrong, your husband wrong. You proved your best friend wrong. You proved everyone on the internet who said it wasn't going to work wrong. And now you made money and you went, oh my God. Oh my God. Well, hold on. Wait a minute. You already hit your vision. You have to recalibrate it. This is going to sound crazy, but well, maybe it won't. I don't know. I'm like on a tangent. I can feel it, right? Like I tell our leaders, I make them spend money. I'm like, let me see your bank account. They show me. I'm like, what is all that money doing sitting in there? Well, I don't know. You never grew up with money. That's why it's sitting there. You like looking at the number. That is losing money. Every day that sits there. Where can we buy some education? Where's another skill set I need you to invest that money into? Where is an actual investment we can invest that money into? Don't buy a Gucci belt or Louis Vuitton luggage or none of that crap. I make them spend money on stuff they need to spend money on, and then they go, oh God, now I need to make money again. And then they start getting hungry again. Some of you need to get hungry again in your business. You need to get aggressive again in your business, and you need to decide which next goal is. Okay, so now you're not driving that car you didn't like. So I was driving that Ford Focus. I was so excited. Remember what I said? I said, I'm going to have a new car in a year. Remember? That was one of my first goals. I'm like, I'm done with this crap. This is crazy. Okay? I'll never forget the day I bought a RAV4, man. Let me tell you about myself. I was so excited. I thought that I was like big ballin', okay? And don't get me wrong, because that was really exciting for me. I never had a new car. I had never had a car that was automatic. I had never had a car that didn't have the roll down windows. I had never had a car with a sunroof. I had never had a car with a trunk like that. Okay, I mean, it was nice. It had leather seats instead of those stinky cloth seats. Like, ugh. I felt like a bomb. Like, I'm not even kidding, you know, like, I was like, look at me. I loved it. I was so proud of myself. And then I said, okay, so now I got this. I better set a new goal. What is your next goal, those of you who are in that car now, or you're no longer in the living situation you're in, or you got out of that relationship that was abusive, or you're no longer looking at the menu and saying, do I eat, hey, I guess I'm just going to get the burger again, but I really want the steak.
Okay, quick pause there. That last couple minutes was kind of interesting. So, first of all, I love it. She was like, I made really bad income claims before there was FTC compliance, which, ooh, that's kind of funny. At least she recognizes it was bad, but a lot of MLMers are still doing that, or they make lifestyle claims, which are basically income claims, but like more broad and a little bit less direct. But yeah, so that's kind of funny. And then basically she said she recruited her friend by saying, we're going to be rich. I don't know how. Don't worry about it. Put it on your credit card, which great if that worked out for them. But in general, that's not going to work for most people. And then the main part of this that I want to touch on, obviously like the bulk of the last couple of minutes, was her saying that like she grew up with money being a scarce resource. And she was asking who relates to that, and that anyone who kind of made money and went, oh God, and then now they're stuck in a rank. That's what she said there. That to me was really interesting, because what that confirmed to me was that people, even if they start making money, even if they hit a new rank, they don't know where their paycheck is coming from. Obviously, I can't see the people in the Zoom call. It is just like a Jessie Lee's re-upload of the video. But if people are relating to that and saying, well, I made money, but I'm still in this like, ooh, mindset, they don't know where the next paycheck is coming from, even if they make money. And that's the thing, like, that's not necessarily the worst. Like, there's a lot of businesses like that. For instance, even with YouTube, like I could have a really great month and then I can have a really bad month. And you know, you never quite know what's gonna happen. Something that's working for a while could stop working. But MLMers will act like, oh, it's so easy. Like, you're just gonna start making money and it's only up from there. But it's very evidently not only up from there. And then the last bit was some really bad financial advice, where she said she makes people on her team spend money, which, like, first of all, that's not your decision. I would not show her my bank account, but she says she gets people to show her their bank accounts and makes them spend money on education and things that will help them grow. But it's like, dude, you don't control what other people spend. That is absolutely ridiculous. And that's kind of culty if like a leader gets to look and determine like what you spend the money you earned on. And also to say, oh, well, it gets them hustling because now they need to make more money because they spent it. That is horrifyingly bad advice. So to imply to those people, oh, you should just spend the money you have because now you're gonna hustle and need to make more, that is not very financially sound advice either. And to say that if they have money sitting in their bank account, they're losing money, no, they're not. Sure, they could be making more. If they made enough to put some in a savings account, they could be getting a little bit of interest back. But again, that's not her business. But to say you're losing money by not spending it, literally, that doesn't make any sense. And you shouldn't have to spend money to make money in an MLM. That's just not how it is. We know that is how it is because you have to spend money to sign up. You have to spend money on new products. Some of them, like Beachbody, for example, I had to pay $20 a month to keep my coach's office open. With an MLM, like, that shouldn't really be the case. It would be like signing up for a regular job and then on your first shift, they're like, by the way, every time you come in, you owe us $20 because we want you to hustle harder to make more back. No. Awful advice. But anyways, we'll keep watching.
Again, in your business, and you need to decide what your next goal is. Okay, so now you're not driving that car you didn't like. So I was driving that Ford Focus. I was so excited. Remember what I said? I said, I'm going to have a new car in a year. Remember? That was one of my first goals. I'm like, I'm done with this crap. This is crazy. Okay? I'll never forget the day I bought a RAV4, man. Let me tell you about myself. I was so excited. I thought that I was like big ballin', okay? And motivating you, okay? I mean, I might. Okay. All right. So anyway, yet, right? And if you've taken a vacation recently, what's the next? Nice. It had leather seats instead of those stinky cloth seats. Like, ugh. I felt like a bomb. Like, I'm not even kidding, you know, like, I was like, look at me. I loved it. I was so proud of myself. And then I said, okay, so now I got this. I better set a new goal. What is your next goal, those of you who are in that car now, or you're no longer in the living situation you're in, or you got out of that relationship that was abusive, or you're no longer looking at the menu and saying, do I eat? Hey, I guess I'm just going to get the burger again, but I really want the steak. Where's the vacation you want to take your family on? Have you even thought about that yet? Right? And if you've taken a vacation recently, what's the next one? You know, like, okay, so you made it to Ocean City, Maryland. Congratulations. I wouldn't get in that water if you paid me. Okay? Like, you gross. All right, that's where I'm from, so I'm allowed to make fun of Maryland. All right? Like, that place is nasty. All right? Like, where are you going next? Can we schedule the Maldives? Can we schedule Europe? Can we schedule an actual cruise where you're not stuck in the center thing? You know, you're like, I went on a cruise. Yeah, I bet you did. And you were stuck in that little tiny hole that was the size of this makeup palette, right? You were like crammed up on top of each other, like in the middle of the boat, rocking and rolling, barfing everywhere. What about a cruise ship where you get a suite where you're out looking the water the whole time? Try that. Try a Mediterranean cruise, right? Try an Alaskan cruise. Go look at some whales. I don't know. You got to shift your vision and you will start recruiting more people because you are going to be having a different hunger about This is funny. Some of you know. Jessica says she loves her balcony room. I don't know how many of y'all watch Tea Time with Jessie Lee at night, but if you do, that is funny right now, okay? All right, so anyway, I just digress. Let me just, all right, so I get funny at night on live video, okay? It's not really like a motivational training at night with Jessie Lee. It's more like girl chat with Jessie Lee if you ever catch Tea Time. So don't be jumping on there trying to think that I'm going to be motivating you, okay? I mean, I might, but you're probably just going to be like, this girl's hilarious. That's what happens at Tea Time. I just scream and laugh the whole time, all right? So anyway, so yes, your balcony room. I like balconies too, girl. All right, international balconies. Mwah, chef's kiss. All right, so moving right along. I think y'all just picked up what I'm putting down. What is your vision? What is the vision of where you want to go? And are you conveying that vision? If you're not telling people, hey, when you join our team, this is what's happening. If you're not telling people, here's the difference between my opportunity and the other opportunities you're looking at, y'all better write that down. You know, and it's subtle stuff. It's subtle stuff. I constantly am telling people about the differences between joining our team and joining anybody else's team. Constantly, because there are differences. I'm constantly knowing the differences between this company and other companies. Do you even know what's going on in the makeup space? You're in a makeup company. I did a live the other day, and how many of you were on the live where I was talking about your company? There you go, okay. So Danielle was on. Okay, hold on a second, I gotta move this really fast. Rebecca was on, a couple of you were on. What did I say y'all need to start talking about? And I want you to think about why I told you to start talking about that. European standards. You're the only network marketing company I know of that sells makeup that upholds European standards. Everyone else, you are like, they are smothering chemicals all over their face and like killing people. Okay? I don't really know if it's that dramatic, so like don't get mad at me if that's not true. But like
Monate is shaking right now.
Your company is the standard. You're the gold standard. Why don't you talk about that? Don't you think you should talk about that? I think you should talk about that. Maybe don't say killing people, okay? If like, that got lost in translation, all right? The number one things people on our team will say in their Instagram stories, on their social media, on everything. We get direct access to Jessie Lee Ward, and so do you. You will get weekly coaching from Jessie Lee Ward when you join this team. And people go, what the hell? I'm a recruiting tool. You have Kate. You have Kate. Do you talk about her? Because y'all are not using your brains if you're not talking about her. That doesn't make sense to me. She's a weapon in your company. I would be pimping her out all over the place. Okay? That's what I would be doing. I swear on it. If you know she's good, then utilize it. Right? You have these benefits in what you're doing, and some of us just aren't even paying attention to it. What is the vision? What are you talking about? Where are you taking people? What makes you better? And don't stop talking about it. I can't shut up about the fact that people can join our team. When we have a kit sale, I'm like, hey, Dollar keto comes flat back. Hey, 40% off. Hey. Want to join me? Join me. Like, hey, hello, I'm recruiting. Hi, how are you? Hey, ooh, Like, I'm consistent about it. People need to know you have an opportunity. One time did somebody, I found out, and thank God, they ended up in my downline somewhere, okay? Whew. But I said, girl, why did you join so-and-so? It wasn't Jalissa, but I'll just use Jalissa. Why did you join Jalissa? Why would you do that to me? Why would you do that to me, Corrales? And she goes, I did not know you were in business, Jessie Lee. And I'm like, what? Well, I just thought that you were like a network marketing coach. I didn't know that you sold the ketones. I'm like, what in the hell? Well, I didn't know, like, and then I did see you drink the ketones, but like, I don't know. I didn't know that you were still recruiting people. And I was like, that's it. Never again. And I got loud. You want to recruit more people? Get loud. I was on a call, I think yesterday. I don't know. It's all a blur, like I said. And I just said, the word is omnipresence. That was a coaching call like 2 days ago. Somebody came on live video with me and she said, how do you have omnipresence on social media? Her name was Melissa. I still remember. I said, Melissa, I have omnipresence because I'm posting constantly. I'm living on the internet. I'm showing people all the time what I'm doing. This is a living legacy. It's a living legacy. I want you to think about that for a second. Like, when you're gone and your social media is still living, your great-great-great-grandbabies are going to know exactly who you were. That's legacy. Omnipresence means get loud. You want people, when they walk past you at Walmart and they see a bright makeup palette, to send you a photo and go, hey girl, hey Nina, I thought of you, girl, because you sell a palette that's way prettier than this one. That's what I'm talking about. When somebody goes to their Target and there's like keto chips or something, they better be sending me a photo. Girl, I thought about you, girl. You the keto girl. Yeah, that's right. That's me. I'm the keto girl. You need people to think about you. You need people to think about you. What makes you stand out? You want to build a big team, a little team, a medium-sized team, an anything team? You have to think about how much you are showing up. Because there is not a day that I don't show up. It makes recruiting a lot easier when people go, I have a feeling that I know what kind of leader Jessie Lee is. I have a feeling that I know what I will be getting when I join Jessie Lee's team. I have a feeling I know how fast I'll be able to get a response from her when I join her team. I have a feeling I know her. And it changes the entire way your business grows. So I know I'm already over time, which is bad because I'm on a 90-day run and I have another thing to do literally right now. But I love you all so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for having me on here. And hopefully you got a lot out of this call. I assume you did because that felt really good. I don't really know what I said. I kind of blacked out, but it felt good. So I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. If you haven't already tagged on Instagram, make sure you do. It's just I'm Boss Lee, or wherever. If you're not an Instagrammer, you can TikTok me or you can Facebook me. It's just Jessie Lee Ward. But I love you. I appreciate you, Kate. Thanks so much for having me on here as always.
Okay, so that's the end of the training. A couple things obviously left to touch on again, just to a couple quick notes down. But I don't know, I feel like she didn't really say a lot. Like, she spoke a lot. She said many words, but I don't know how they're really going to use that to recruit. I mean, sure, there was a couple of tidbits that might be semi-helpful that they probably already knew, though, being in network marketing. But overall, like, I feel like that was just a lot of not a lot, you know? But anyways, we'll touch on it. Kind of picking up where I left off the last time I paused it, is she ended off by saying, like, what is your vision? And then she said to know the differences between, like, your team versus other teams, know the difference between your company versus other companies. And then she said that pharmacy has European standards and that they're the only company that does, so use that to your advantage. Monet literally constantly talks about European standards and how the US barely bans any chemicals, so we choose to ban more. And I know Monet isn't solely makeup, but they do have makeup products, and obviously like they're in the cosmetic world, so I'm sure it's only a matter of time before they develop even more. To say, know what makes your company different, I love how her example was something that is the same as another company. So obviously most MLM companies are the same. They're shilling the same type of products, you know, Arbonne with their vegan protein powder. Monet has a vegan protein powder. Like, there's so much overlap. It's hard to know what makes your company different because, to be honest, nothing. You're selling overpriced versions of what people could get at like Costco or Walmart. And then she said, basically, to sum up the last bit, was know what makes you different and then don't stop talking about it. Be super loud, be obnoxious about it. Overall, people who aren't in MLMs, if you just never shut up about it, that's what gives MLM such a bad reputation. For me personally, like when I first joined my MLM way back when I was in Beachbody, I didn't really know anything about MLMs, but now that I do, every time I see something about it, I'm like, oh my God, that's so annoying. Every time someone pops into my DMs and then I see, like, I get the vibe that it's an MLM, I'm like, oh my God, that's, again, it's so annoying. Sure, maybe that advice will work for like a small percent of people, but overall in general, I think if you're like super loud and obnoxious and bothering your audience all the time, they're not gonna wanna join what you're doing, and if anything, they're gonna be probably turned off by what you're doing. And then she went on to say how she lives on the internet and how she's in a 90-day run. She had to keep mentioning that, and that's fine if that's what she wants to do. But in general, again, MLMs are always selling themselves basically by saying you can work for as little as an hour a day and make a full-time income. You can have time freedom. You can have all these things. So for her to say, well, the reason why I do so well is because I live on the internet. I'm constantly posting. I'm constantly updating. I'm sharing my stories, I'm on live, I'm blah, blah, blah. All these things back to back to back. That is super unappealing, first of all. Like, I wouldn't want to live like that. But also, it's so contradictory because most people who shill MLMs, the main talking point is the freedom that you have with it. But I mean, how free are you really if you are basically a slave to the internet and you can't get off social media or else your business is gonna flop? That's basically, to recap it, essentially not super useful advice. She literally took 20 minutes to say, have a vision, post about it. There was no real information about recruiting or how these people who don't have followers are supposed to grow and get a downline from that. Obviously, I think it's good ultimately that there was no good useful advice because hopefully that will spare some people from being recruited. But I would be a little frustrated personally if I sat in a call for 20 minutes and didn't really get anything out of it. I know when I was in Beachbody that happened so much where we were forced to be on calls. My upline would message a group and be like, oh my God, none of you guys are on, like giving us shit for it. But then I would go on the calls and it was basically this, like, or it would be her saying, well, I was, you know, I didn't have any money and I couldn't really make my business work and now it works and I'm so happy, and then just telling me about how she's buying a house and a car and blah, blah, blah. And it was never helpful at all. And I feel like that's basically what this was, with less lifestyle claims, but basically same thing. But anyways, that is enough from me. I think I've talked for sufficiently long. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought of the clips down below, especially with the last one, the Boss Lee one. And make sure to hit that subscribe while you're down there, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.